Okay, so we've got this 1983 Honda XL600 and it's got low compression, so it won't start. Now, it's got a new piston in it, and I think that there's a number of small factors that are probably contributing to the low compression. So, first one is it's got some damage to the top of the barrel. So these parts here, they're basically, I don't know what's happened exactly, but there's like lips that are sticking up. Someone's obviously tried to prise the cylinder head off the barrel at some point. It's got a couple of high points over here as well. And these high points, they're just going to mean that the cylinder head isn't going to mount perfectly onto the mounting surface of the barrel. So that's one thing. Another thing is, I don't know if you can see, but there are some marks in the cylinder. So that one there, for example, catches with the fingernail. And there's another few over here as well, which also some of them catch with a fingernail. So that is not going to be helping the situation at all. And then, so in the manual, it tells you what the piston diameter should be, so 99.96 to 99.99. The piston we've got is actually a Wiseco. That's measured at 99.95. Now then, what it says here is that there is a piston to cylinder clearance, and it's 0.01 to 0.055 mil. Now you measure this with a trusty feeler gauge. So I'm not going to be able to do this while I'm videoing this, but basically it's measuring 0.09, so it's getting to the upper end of that standard. So it's not terrible, and it's within spec, but these marks are going to need to be taken out. So probably once these marks are taken out, it's then not going to be in spec. So I'm going to suggest it's going to need to go up a piston size. So I'm going to say it's going to need a rebore, go up a piston size, and then go from there. Now, with a 4-stroke, this is not the only stuff that relates to compression or compression readings, etc. So how 4-strokes work is they've got valves on the top. So I haven't taken any of the valves out yet, but there is a possibility that the valves aren't seating correctly. And if the valves aren't seating correctly, I mean, you can see it's not been cleaned off mega well. So for example, let's say the cylinder head doesn't mount down properly onto the cylinder itself, and then there's a little bit of loss of compression due to some of these marks, due to the higher level of clearance that we're experiencing. And then also, let's say that the valves aren't seating correctly in the head, then we're going to have a lack of compression. So I believe that we're not experiencing a lack of compression from one thing. I think it's a number of contributing factors. So my job is, I'm going to have a look for the next size piston up and get that ordered. We're going to get the barrel rebored, and I'm going to get them to take a slight skim off the top to get rid of these high points, because you want that to be a machined flat surface. And then once I've done that, and in the meantime, I'm then going to strip the head down. I'm going to get that properly cleaned up, so get rid of all the carbon around there, clean up, take the valves out, and then lap them in. So lapping them in is a process whereby you effectively you use some valve grinding paste, and you spin the valves backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards in the valve seat, and it creates a new sealing ring. And there's more than likely some valve seals in there as well. I haven't checked on the microfiche, but if there are valve seals, I'm going to get those replaced too. And then we should be cooking on gas.